Wendy.
I'm Debbie.
And we're here from Kitten Crazy in Medina. And this is like our 100 and something show now.
Yeah.
And we're kind of getting, the hang of this.
I'll never get the hang of it.
And Andy behind the camera, as always. Thanks, Andy. And then we have Tracy today. She's going to be giving us kitties, one after the other, because we have a lot. So let's just get started.
We do have a lot.
Yeah.
But again, we have a lot of lovable adults like Maverick.
Mav.
He was brought in. He was brought in as what they thought is a feral cat.
Yeah.
He is a sweetheart. I do believe he likes to be with a lot of cats.
A
couple of cats.
Yeah, he doesn't do well by himself, believe it or not. Most of the cats that we have, well, not most, some of the cats that we have can only be an only cat.
Yes.
We believe this cat likes the community of cats. He likes to be in a community of cats. He has a phenomenal, gorgeous, like wild look to his face. He looks like a cougar, and so forth. But he's been in a few fights. You can see he was an outdoor dude in a colony, but he's a nice boy, and he just would do well with a lot of other cats.
So if you have a lot,
And you want to add one more to your family.
He's an inside-outside cat. That's he would be a great addition.
He's a brown tabby because see the brown on his nose? That's your indicator right there. He's a brown tabby. Whoopsies. I know he kind of wants to fly, and we'll just take you for a second. And then he's got some brownish undercoat. I'll let you go, Mav. But if you take Mav, you have to have a goose.
A goose.
Oh, Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Oh,
So
was
if
not
you
one
have
of my
a
favorite
Maverick-
movies, so I didn't get it. Do you remember Deuce?
Yes, I do.
You have to tell the story of Deuce.
I
because
just remember I called him Deuce because he has 2 spots on his back end.
Mom had her kittens,
Yeah.
and she had Ace and Deuce. Wendy named them.
I named him Ace and Deuce.
Unfortunately, one didn't make it.
Right.
Remember?
Yeah, of the 3.
Yeah, it
And
was
Ace and Deuce did.
because they were twice the size of the kitten, and so he's up for adoption already. His brother's getting fixed today,
I love you.
and so he these two
Made friends.
Perseus. I named him after
Yeah, Perseus.
star constellation. These two are in the room in the back because they were not fixed at the time. These two are best buddies and they're bad. They get out of the door every time.
Because they want to be with people.
No, they want to run around.
They want to run around and fly and be around people.
You don't go chasing them. They go running under thing, looking, and these two
one.
every
He's
time.
nice and calm.
These two run
This
out.
one's nice. Look.
Uh-huh.
This one is called a harlequin because he has a full white body and he has color on his head and color on his tail and less than 3 blobs on his body. So if he has any more than 3 blobs, then he'd be a bicolor. He'd have half gray and half white in his body. But just 1 or 2 or 3 blobs on his body, they become a harlequin. It sounds like a very fancy cat. This is a gray harlequin because harlequin indicates that the cat is mostly white. Always this white undercoat with color on the head, color on the tail, and a couple blobs. Now if he didn't have his Deuce here, and he's all white, that's called a van.
Oh, okay.
Color on the head, color on the tail, all white body. And he would be called a gray van. Okay? I actually drive a white van, but but this guy is a gray harlequin, and this guy is gorgeous. It's Perseus, and that's the name of the constellation is Perseus. And people, even a doctor I recently that was here, called this color a Russian blue. Russian blue is actually a breed of cat. I hate to correct the veterinarian, but Russian blue is a specific and a very expensive breed of cat. People would come in all the time at Quick Fix and call their gray cat a Russian blue. They're not Russian blues. They're gray cats. We call them blue because in the world of cat colors, this is called a blue. There is a blue color in the dog breed too, but this is just a gray kitten. You know, it's a domestic short-hair gray kitten that purrs very loudly.
Can you hear it?
Which is my favorite sound in the world. How about you, Deb?
It's up there.
It's up there. Favorite smell, puppy breath.
Oh, yeah.
Favorite sound, cats purring. Any cat that purrs is a good sound.
My favorite is, hey, you won a lottery. But, you know, that's my favorite. That's my favorite.
Have you heard that yet?
No, I've never heard it. So
That's why we have to work, right,
yes.
Deb?
Good look at him.
Oh, these
So,
two
but
are
he's
up
got
for
a lot of
adoption
personality.
soon. Beautiful amber-colored eyes. Beautiful greenish amber-colored eyes. The 120 covers everything. Spay, neuter, vaccines, testing, wormed. They're very healthy little guys. Very healthy. Boo, boo,
What
boo.
is this right here?
This is cute. What we're here?
Feel his belly.
Okay, that could
Trade.
be a hernia. Okay, what do we got on your belly? Okay,
Do you feel
that's
it?
a fatty lump.
Fatty lump, I got those too.
Okay, so let's see here. That could be
Got a lot
hernia.
of those. Oh.
That's an umbilical hernia
Okay.
that did not get fixed at the. Oh, we'll have
No,
to have
he has
it
not
fixed.
been fixed,
All right,
so-
so you have to mark on his thing
Yeah.
that there's. So this is a great learning thing. Debbie caught it. Very good. So when you have your kittens and you put your hands underneath. At one point, when I first felt it, it was off to the side. Actually,
Yeah. Moves.
it will
It's
move.
just weird.
Certain hernias will be transient a little bit, but this one is clearly right where his umbilical cord would be, which is right there. Now it's really sticking out because
Yeah.
it can change. But right here is an umbilical hernia. What happens is when they're born, they have the umbilical cord. Mom will chew it off and they're pretty precise, about 2 to 3 inches as she'll leave on. And then that dries out, and over the course of a week to 10 days, that will just fall off on its own. It will just atrophy and fall off on its own. And so then that's just the way nature is. If you pull it off, if you pull that off too soon, it causes these umbilical hernias, and they do need to be fixed. And they do cost more at spay neuter. They even cost more for us at spay neuter. So Debbie catching this is good. There are multiple different kinds of hernias that a cat can get. This one is probably the least scary kind of hernia. But he's like, look at my hernia, it's right there. But I'm not messing with it. I'm not pushing on it or anything. But it feels like a little jelly-like. They can have hernias that are internal so that it feels like a hollow spot there versus coming out, it actually goes in. And when you press on it, it feels like you can go straight in their body. So all of them should be fixed.
Yes.
They should be fixed. It's just, they may not be life-threatening at the time, but they can turn pretty dangerous later on or at any point. I love you too. Look at this guy's round face. That's a gorgeous little kitten right here, Perseus. We're gonna fix that for you, okay? Okay, who do you have?
This is Willow.
I love Willow.
Willow is, she's an older cat.
Yes, this is.
She is declawed.
Yes, her is.
Some terrible human being threw her out. So she was skinny. Somebody who had a good heart found her, asked us to take her. How can you say no to that? She had, you believe, sunburn in the ears.
Yep. Yeah. At the time, she had burnt.
Yeah.
Oh, her ears were so
They were
badly
bad and
sunburned.
skinny,
Ooh.
and so the first day she had like 3 cans of food. And then it hit her that she finally was eating something good, and she's been probably eating garbage because she is declawed.
She's still thin.
She's still thin.
Yeah, she's
She's
shedding
a-
like a bandit, huh?
She
You
does
shedding
shed
like
a lot,
bandit?
yes.
You can shed on me. I like
Yeah.
holding kitties.
She
I don't care.
is
I don't care about that.
A cat that will just lay around.
She's
She's a little nervous now because this is not the room. She's usually in my office.
There you
Um,
go. Good girl.
But she's gorgeous.
She
I mean, look at
is
that.
gorgeous. This is a very beautiful Torty Point Siamese mix.
Yeah, she.
Okay,
Yeah.
she's a Siamese mix because she's not a full Siamese. You can tell just by her face. And boy, is she shedding. You have to have a brush. But that's a Torty Point. She's a dilute Torty Point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's actually a dilute Torty Point Siamese mix. What a nice girl she is. She is just going to hang out. She hangs out in your office
She sleeps
area.
and she.
She doesn't bug anybody.
She don't bug anybody.
She's a little bit older, so you have to know that, we don't know. They don't come with a birth certificate or a diary. We don't know what's happened to them. We don't know if they have internal problems necessarily, unless we have some symptoms, which we don't.
No, she's, we put her on meds.
All of her functions are good.
Clean her out, yeah, she's.
But she's definitely older, and she's very thin. You've been putting weight on her. That's
Yes.
great. These guys here, they have full bowls of dry food at all times. Then they get snack of canned food, and then someone's invariably walking around handing treats out to
Yes.
these guys all the time. So especially this kind of cat, you definitely want her eating.
Yeah.
You want her eating and
And she does
beefing
eat.
back up.
I catch
She's a
her eating all the
sweetie.
time. She eats
Okay.
dry food,
Wanna sit
everything.
with Debbie?
And she is
There
just
you go.
a.
Whoa!
Oh, Wendy was so nice looking. And she's now got cat hair. Well,
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
It's.
when does she not have cat hair on her? That's the
It's true.
question. When she walked in this morning, that's
I
it.
have cats. I walk in with cat hair.
But she is a great cat if you're looking for that sweet cat. And we have 2 declawed cats here. One is under a year. He's all gray. He's a little skittish, but I think he'll do great. One of our old-time girls, Avery, got adopted a couple weeks ago.
We're so excited about
So
that.
knock on wood, I haven't heard from him back. I think he gave that cat a chance. These older cats, they just want someone to love them. Or another day, Gabby, who is a volunteer here, asked us if we could take this cat that keeps coming up to their neighbor's house. And I said, sure. Gabby's a very dedicated volunteer, and so even though we're full, I said, sure, we'll take him. Took him in, brought him in, gorgeous big orange male with white paws and a white underbelly, and sweet as can be. So Wen comes in and she goes, I think I saw him on the Medina Lost and Found. So we went and looked, it was kind of hard to tell. He was bigger and he was dirtier since being here.
Since he got here.
I mean, because he was out. Yeah, not because we
he
were
was
here.
here?
Yeah. I contacted her via Facebook, and she's like, I'm pretty sure she was going somewhere today at 5:30 in the morning. She was going to cancel her plans, and I said, no, don't cancel your plans, because what if it isn't, and you cancel your plans and you find out it's not your cat? I'd feel bad. So I came back up to work late last night. She came up. This lady comes in. She moved up to Medina from Louisiana within, I think, a week. Her cat got out. She lives near the highway, so the cat was scared. He did not know where to go, so he went west, which, God works in mysterious ways, and he got this cat over to someone that cares about cats, as in Gabby and her neighbor. And this lady, she's a very reserved woman, and she teared up when she saw it. She had pictures. If this was not her cat, there's a match, a clone. There's the first clone cat then, because that cat was cloned. He was scared. She called him TT. So she took him home, and it's a great story when we can find. So when we do get adult cats, between Wen and I, we look on the Lost and Found pages. We do have a chip reader. That's why we adamant about getting your cats chipped, because we want to find your cat to take it home to you, or bring it home to you. So I want to
Such a
say.
great story, Debbie, and
It's a
thank
great
you
story.
for coming in special for her.
I don't mind if it's helping a cat. You know,
Now, if it was a
dog, no, I would do it.
snake,
No, I'd do it for a snake. Any animal is part of God's creation.
that's right, we would. Yay, Debbie!
Yeah,
What a
cockroaches
great
too.
story. That's such a great story, and we don't get a lot of happy ending stories like that where we're not involved, where we take the cat
Yeah.
in. I think every cat that we send home is a happy ending story.
Yes.
Because either we took the cat in and it was healthy and had babies and we raised them and they were never in danger, all the way to this cat's going to die if you don't take it in and amputate its leg or take its eye out or whatever, or this cat was abused, and if you don't take it, it's going to go back out on the street or go back into an abusive home, that kind of thing. You know, the SPCA in Medina does a great job.
Yes, they do.
But so do we. We take in the same kind of cats.
Yes,
we say
do.
we take in healthy, well socialized. That's what we'd like to take in. But the reality is we need to take in all these other guys. And that's the majority of what we take in. They're sick. They're abused. They've been outside. They're unwanted. And so when they come here, they get a ton of love.
Yes.
And they get every medical thing that they need to be healthy. And they get a free-roaming, healthy-minded environment to function in based on what they need. So if a cat needs to be alone and not be in a group of cats, then they get a cage that they can live in, a big enough cage they can live in. If not, and they can live in an environment like this, then they do. We have tons of free-roaming areas for these cats to be in. Even when they're healing from sickness, we have other rooms in the back that are made so that they have their own air source and everything, so that they can heal and not transfer it to another cat.
Right.
You know, we do it right. We just do it right. And because of that, we've had so many people ask why I closed Quick Fix down. So I just want to make a mention of that. We did not go out of business. We were doing exceptionally well as far as the business itself. It was a business that I was putting in 100% plus of my time.
I was going to say more than 100%.
And for 8 years, I ran Quick Fix, and my husband was dragged into Quick Fix, and he works a high level job. He travels, and he also teaches at Tri-C, and he was here all the time too, with doing the all of the technology that we have here. He did and maintained. So it took a lot of his time too. We're getting older, and I will say that staffing issues can be the worst to deal with. Between the high-level business that was constantly demanding more of us, the level that we were doing it at, and then the all that goes with that as far as stress and responsibility. We were going to be at around $900 to $1,000 to $1 million budget that was coming through my hands, and I had to learn accounting and everything else. I was done. The doctor quit, and I did not have another doctor, and they're very, very difficult to find to do spay neuter all day. And I had been thinking about whether we should keep Quick Fix open or not under Kitten Crazy. It was a program of Kitten Crazy, so I couldn't just say, okay, I'm done, walk away, and then give it to someone else. It's attached to my first love, which is Kitten Crazy. And so it had to shut down in order for it to not be a liability to Kitten Crazy. And so at this point, people have sent in mostly very good responses to that. We're sad to see it go. It was great. But we understand that it comes down to my personal health and well-being. And people understand that. But some people didn't kind of get that. And they are really mad at me for closing it down, and I feel, I don't feel responsible for that. I feel like you're missing the whole point. Like, we did 8 years. I gave 8 years of my life to it. We did 55,000 surgeries. We did wellness, and the bottom line is we did not do anything that was an emergency. All of vets in this community can do the same thing and do the same thing as Quick Fix. So you have the opportunity to go to any other vet and get these services. Just if you happen to like us better because of the prices, well, that was great. But it's not like we offered something that you can't get somewhere else.
Right.
And for my personal life and well-being, that needed to come out of my life at this point. So I thank everybody that supported us as a business. I'm glad that we were able to provide that service to a lot of you for 8 years. And hopefully someone out there may decide to do something similar.
Yeah.
But there are vaccine clinics all over town that they can still get.
Tractor
Can
Supply.
still get your vaccines cheap at Tractor Supply, Petco, I think, in Strongsville. I don't know. There's all kinds. There are other spay-neuter clinics. They are a little bit of a distance from here. We now have to go somewhere and have our cat spayed and neutered at another facility but that's what we always did. People are like, well, what are you going to do now? Well, what I did for 7.5 years before I opened Quick Fix and had to take my cats down. I go somewhere else too. And so, yes, it's sad, but it's not devastating. It's not the end of the world. But for me, it's a new life. And that's the thing I want people to understand is we didn't close it because we went out of business. And people are asking if our spaghetti dinner is still on. It's still on.
So get your tickets.
Yes, get your tickets. Next year it won't be called the spaghetti dinner because we don't have Quick Fix, but we were already en route with it, and so they kept it the spaghetti dinner.
Yeah.
But it is to fund Kitten Crazy. It's always been to fund mostly Kitten Crazy because we need to provide for these cats, and our adoption fees do not cover the cats most of the time, let alone the building. And we have a few employees still that I have to provide for, and heat, electric, and everything.
And
so
more importantly, and I know this most important thing to Wendy is the cats.
the cats. It's all about the cats.
Yes, she constantly thinking 100 things at the same time, but everything comes down to how to help these cats.
And that's
her
what I
thinking.
started it for. And Quick Fix took me completely away from the thing that I wanted to do, that I was called to do. My mission was to save the cats, and I think we did that through Quick Fix, but it took me personally away. And I think if you saw today, I knew the names of the cats again. I'm more integrated with what's going on here. I mean, I was never here, huh, Deb?
Right.
I mean, like, I thank God for Debbie, and thank God that she's going to stay.
And win.
And Win and everybody else, and
Yes.
Irene and everybody else. There's so many people to thank. It's hard to start naming people because you're going to forget that there's hundreds of people that make this happen. But I'm so grateful for having been able to do that. But it is just time for me to move on. We're going to open up a storefront. It's a little store, and we're trying to figure out a new name for it. It's just going to be in the Quick Fix lobby space. We do have our online auction called Kitten Crazy Mittler's Flea Market.
And that's at Russ.
It's called bidrustbelt.com.
Yeah.
Bidrustbelt.com. We don't have a current auction up, but we will have periodic auctions,
and
we'll
good stuff.
and we'll be advertising when our auctions go live on our Facebook page, on our website page,
email.
through this show, Cat Chat, and all of the money is 100% benefits our cause of helping the cats in the community. So we have other projects. They just don't take veterinarians and staffing and all of that can absolutely be debilitating at times. and it's just time consuming things. This other stuff will be way less time consuming and really be we're looking for donations of things. Yes. So if you have boxes of things, or you have an attic full of stuff, or even if you have one thing, we take donations during the business hours of Kitten Crazy, which is 12 to 5 Tuesday through Friday and 12 to 3 on Saturdays. You can drop things off anytime. We aren't doing pickups at this point for bigger things.
You're not taking clothes either.
We're not taking clothes or shoes or liquids, anything in a bottle, even if it's a really good perfume. But it's hard to resell things like that. But pretty much anything else that you want to donate, if it's cat related, we can auction that off too. Because we have a lot of stuff that people donate. So we may use your things in the shelter, or we may use your cat related things to make money for the shelter. Just depends. But that's it in a nutshell. It's trying to answer some people's questions or diffuse some people's anger towards me, like shame on you, why did you do that? I did not ask my doctor to quit. She quit for her own reasons, and it left us without a doctor. And so you can't function without a doctor.
No, and it's
I can't do spays and neuters, so.
And it's tough out there to get a doctor, so.
It is.
I know
but we're
places,
good.
But we're better off. So we're now not better off. We're moving to a different way. So.
Right. The thing about it is that my husband and I have been talking, and the board of directors, we're talking for a while now as to what we should do. And, and it just, I feel like this was God's plan. The doctor quit, and I knew, boom, I knew that was God saying, I'm giving you, here it is. This is the time. There's no doubt about that. And I walked through the door. I walked through that opening, and I have been nothing but happy. I'm like so relieved and happy for my personal life and my health and my well-being. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And that's it.
So I just wanted to mention something real quick before we leave. And I know we're going through all this, and just to mention Claire's Fun, who helps cats who have some extra things that need to be done, like removal of a leg, an eye, teeth. If you ever feel like donating, we do have a cat here. Her name is Katniss. Was ours originally. They had 2 cats. They rescued a greyhound from Florida. Greyhound doesn't like the cats, so the cats had to go. To me, my cats are family, so I can't toss them out like that. But each of his own. The one cat needs dental work drastically. It's really, really bad. So if anyone would like to donate to the Claire's Fund, it would be greatly appreciated. So, and that's all I have. Wendy? So, I want to thank everybody. Thank everybody that donates, helps, adopts, just comes in and sees our cats, just gives us well wishes. I want to say thank you to everybody for that. And come get garland.